Hello art students, I am so glad you came for today's artist lesson. I am your art teacher Elle and I cannot wait to introduce Protégé's Lesson 1, William Morris and the Arts and Crafts Movement. Our first lesson can be completed using items you should already have in your home. You can pause the video anytime to gather your supplies. For today's artist lesson, you will need any type of foldable item that you can cut. Something like origami paper, white paper, a notebook, or even toilet tissue. You will also need scissors, glue, or tape as an adhesive. But before we start our project, I will always begin the lesson with some art history in our target language. Today's project is inspired by the art of the arts and crafts movement and the great artist William Morris. These designs might look familiar to you. The key characteristics are the floral patterns and the intricate, symmetrical details. Those were hard words, so let me explain. Let's see. Floral details mean a drawing that looks like a flower. It can be a petal, a stem, or even a leaf. Pattern means something that repeats itself. It happens over and over and over again, like these repeating dots, the repeating lines, or these little repeating shapes. And intricate details mean something that has a lot of small stuff. You'll have to look very closely to see all of the shapes, even the colors and the pictures that the artist chose to draw. And lastly, symmetry. This means one side is the same as the other. Think of your face right here, or a butterfly, a very symmetrical animal. Now, William Morris is the most famous artist of this time. He created iconic furniture pieces and textiles. Morris and his friends created very detailed pieces by hand for a very good reason. At the time, many blankets, pillows, rugs, curtains, chairs were all created by big machines in large factories. They did not have any floral details, nor patterns, nor symmetry. The items were all plain with nothing. Do you know why? Well, because it could be made very fast, so the company could get rich quickly, but it was not very pretty. Morris and his friends wanted to show other people that handmade things should be greatly liked because it brought beauty to their lives. How about we bring beauty to your life? Let me show you today's project. The pieces I am showing you are just a few examples. The pieces will not look like this, and actually the new piece I'll make here today will look nothing like these. We'll use the same idea from Morris to create our piece. The first step today is a practice step, so I can show you how to cut. You can grab any paper. This will not be a part of the project, so don't worry about what color or size. I'll use this small plain white paper for now to practice cutting. Now get your scissors. This is when we're gonna make our first cut. It's gonna be a small triangle into the paper. You should cut on an angle and only make 2 cuts. I'll show you. So let's cut 1 and 2. Well done. You can continue practicing or we can move on to the next step. The next cut will be a half circle. Take your scissors and begin to curve both of the paper and the scissors towards each other, like this. I'll do it one more time. Take your paper and your scissors and curve towards each other like this. Well done. And the last cut we will take will be the organic cut, like a floral cut. So imagine petal, flower, or stem. So take what you learned from the paper cutting of the semicircle and curve the paper with your scissor freely like this. So I can curve left, I can curve right, curve left, right, left, right. And you can get a very fun shape, just like this. So you can continue cutting if you need more practice with either the triangle, the half circle, or the more organic shape But if you are confident in your cutting skills, let's move on to our final piece. So you can take any paper you would like. If it is a rectangle, you'll have to fold your paper just like this. But if it is a perfect square, you can fold your paper on an angle like this. And I'll be using squares in my project. So let's begin. I'll first start off with our blue paper, and I'll show you how to make a square. My project will be quite small today, so about this width. Let me move my sketchbook out of the way. And I'll cut along this line. This paper is quite long, but I'll show you how to make the square. I'll take this corner and move it to the opposite side, just like this, and fold my paper. I'll then cut along this edge. And now it is a perfect square. You could repeat this with any color and any size. Now I will fold the paper. I will choose to fold mine 3 times. As you fold, it could get harder to cut because the paper will get thicker, so just be very careful. Okay, now it's time to create a symmetrical pattern. Because you folded your paper, the shape you cut will repeat itself and you'll create a beautiful piece. If you cut shapes into the paper and into each other, it will rip. Let me show you with this paper. I'll make a really small one to demonstrate. One more square, just like this. So this is just a folded piece of paper. Imagine I cut a very big triangle inside, and I want to cut another big triangle. Oh no, right? Your paper will fall apart. So make sure you cut along the edge. I'll show you. Just along this edge, and this edge. Don't cut too far deep into your paper or it will just rip apart. All right, my first cut will be small triangles on the side of my paper. I'll show you. Just like this. I will then continue to cut along the edge, and you could cut however you'd like. I'll stop talking for now and let's begin cutting together. Are you happy with all of your cutting? If you are, you can begin to unfold your paper. Let's see. Okay, wow. Look, my paper is perfectly symmetrical. I want to create another one so I can overlap this design with another one. And you should too. So let's begin. I'll choose another color, this yellow piece, and I'll make sure it is just about the same size of this. Great. Are you all finished? If not, continue to cut. I'll be here when you are ready to move on to our next step. But now that you are all done, I want to show you something amazing. Take your paper and overlap it together like this. Look how this creates something entirely new. I'll choose to glue them. Because your edges are very fragile, tap the glue like this to avoid tearing your paper. Very light tapping. It would be a shame for you to destroy the piece so far into the project. Now I will overlap it and try to match up. I could either go like this. I don't know what choice I want to make today. Maybe like that. Great. Awesome. Looks good. Now we are almost done. You will need to adhere it to a solid back. So you can grab one more paper or even a thick board or cardboard. I have a thick board right here. And once again, you could either tape it or glue it. I will just glue one more time using light tapping. Are you all finished? If not, do not let me stop you from continuing on with your work. I can wait. But if you are finished, do you like what you created? Can you see the pattern you made and the symmetry? It is very intricately detailed, isn't it? When you tell someone about your art, you can explain the pattern, symmetry, and if you cut the flower petals or stems, show the floral design too. Okay. Our last step will always be to sign your name. Do you know how to sign your name? If not, you could practice on paper. Write your name in cursive. And if you do not know how, you can always type it first in the computer and choose a cursive font. That will give you a good idea of what it looks like. You can now practice a few times on a paper. When you are ready, sign the bottom left or right of your artwork. And on the back, you can date the canvas with your month, day, and year, along with one of one. Did you have fun? I hope you did, and that you love your new artwork. I will always have 3 assignments for you. First, you need to create a title for the artwork. And please leave your title in the comments below. I would love to hear about it. Second, if you can, or if you'd like, submit a photo of your artwork to Protégé English Art Academy's Instagram linked down below, and I'll post it to the Instagram account. Lastly, you could prepare for next week's class with these materials. You will need paper or canvas and drawing materials such as colorful paint and brushes, colorful pencils, colorful markers, or pens. Great. Thank you all for learning and creating with me. Feel free to create this artwork as many times as you'd like. Share with your friends and never stop being a creative learner. See you next week.